Boris Godunov is, I would say, the masterpiece by Russia's founding father of Russian literature, Pushkin. Nonetheless, this play hasn't yet been professionally performed in English. It's extraordinary. It's a play also that's very much inspired by the works of Shakespeare, by Shakespeare's history plays, by Richard III, by Macbeth as well. Pushkin in the play is wanting to turn to Russian history to talk about life under Tsar Nicholas in his own time without getting into prison, in the same way that Shakespeare was looking at history in order not to get in trouble with Elizabeth or James. It's a great portrait of a very troubled time in Russian history, the time of Elizabeth I, when Boris was reigning, just immediately after Ivan the Terrible. It's a wonderful chance to remind ourselves that there was a world elsewhere at the time of Shakespeare, that London wasn't necessarily the centre of the universe. There's a kind of dynastic power gap into which various people, including Boris, who not everyone thinks should be ruling, and a pretender called Dmitri. It's the story, sometimes comic, sometimes ghastly, of the battle between these two figures. Boris found his way to power quite like Vladimir Putin, through the Secret Service. That was his power base. His uncle was the head of the Oprichniki, the notorious KGB of Ivan the Terrible. Through him, Boris came to court and gradually found himself trusted by, first of all, Ivan, and then very much so by Ivan's son, Fyodor. Boris became almost a Richard III figure to his Prince in the Tower, and he was regent until Fyodor died, of natural causes, I think, and then Boris became Tsar. It's a dark kind of humour. It's like dark Irish humour, like dark Jewish humour, born out of very tough experience, but you gotta laugh. It's quite a refined sense of irony. It's very subversive humour as well, satirical. By humour, you can feel better about not having a voice politically. It's your one way to get back at the people who have you completely under their control in a totalitarian state. It's a very strong tradition in Russian literature and performance, this dark analysis of the mess. Quite often that has been Russia.